We're starting. Okay, welcome. Glad everyone can make it. Guess we'll start by reviewing and approving the minutes from last meeting, March 19th. We have a motion.
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
And second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We'll move on then to projects update with Bryce.
All right, well, y'all, thank you. I'm excited to be speaking the least amount of our library staff today, but I did want to open up with just a couple of updates on our major projects, the PERC contract, and then a couple of our physical projects that we're coming up on right now. As you remember, in our last meeting, we introduced a couple of concepts for both a new collection services or tech services work area that we would have at the front of our northern building. And the second was the taking on the courtyard and the outdoor spaces of the library and focus on moving them to a library park. At our last city council meeting, we presented the tentative budget, which included some of our CIP or capital improvement projects. And I have not heard anything to the contrary of those moving forward really well. Additionally, in our last work session, we presented on the Orem Care Commission presented on those allocations for the upcoming budget year as well, including full funding for the library park. And so with both funding mechanisms in place but not yet approved, I think we're looking at May 28th to approve the budget. We'll go from tentative to accepted budget. We'll be able to start to plan and engage our vendors in earnest on that. And so we have been working through with our architecture firm, Method Studios, who will handle both the inside and outside project. We'll define the scope of work with them over the month of June. And then we will begin in earnest them meeting with our staff group, specifically Linda will take a big portion of the lead working with them on the work bullpen, and I will be taking the lead on our outdoor spaces as we sort of work with them, work within our budget, and start to build a timeline out for that. I was grateful I had the chance to go to the Utah Library Association conference last week and a half ago, last week. And it was really cool. We had a number of sessions at the ULA conference that were really appropriate to this one. We had one on architecture, we had another one on STEAM, STEM plus art STEAM classes as they relate to like physical spaces in the library. We had a really fascinating one from the Salt Lake County Public Librarian who is over their community gardening and seed library programs. I thought was a really neat map for what we've talked about and some of the successes and challenges they've had with that. We also, one of my other favorite ones was from actually an academic librarian out of Oklahoma State, but how they were working in moving all of their policies towards a default of trust with their patrons. And some of it was around language of, it's not a lost book, it's a unreturned, as opposed to assuming since you haven't returned it, you've lost it. We just said the only thing we know is that it's not returned. And some of the other things, or the more extreme, was how do we physically design the space? Is it designed to secure the collection, or is it designed to welcome people in and encourage them to stay? And there's some physical, architectural decisions that we'll have. And I was really excited to see how a library sort of 10 years down that road, and they've had a ton of success with it, which gives me the confidence to say, let's focus on inviting rather than securing. We will have challenges. You're trading some challenges of this for that, but I think generally it will be a much more resident-friendly policy, and it'll allow us to move the needle towards welcoming, which I think is really exciting. And our staff have done an amazing job of balancing both currently, but as we're making some long-term decisions, I think this gives us confidence to try that out. Additionally, we have a number of grant opportunities that are out right now. Linda that one was the ULTC grant that we are closed today. Is that right?
I think it doesn't close till the 31st now.
Oh, okay. So we got 10 days.
It's the LSTA.
LSTA.
Yep.
Gotta pull it right here. LSTA grant. We have another one that one of the city staff members, Heather Cox, has gone out for. And so really trying to make sure that our care dollars and our capital dollars are met when possible with some state funding, some matching funding, something like that. In addition to those timelines, we're engaging on a number of processes right now as staff. I think we're excited about doing some beta testing in the library as it is right now. We just talked about maybe like a pop-up teen center. Yes, we're excited to like build a physical space or change a physical space to be a teen center in the future. But for right now, there's a month, I think in December, we will have no story time. And so we'll have the storytelling week. What if for 3 weeks we brought in some furniture and brought in some teen center type items and we tested out to see what is popular and not popular. Or maybe next May, when we shut down for May again, we can try it again. And so we're excited and interested in sort of testing some of those ideas out right now. Additionally, we have a couple of physical changes as we incorporate the PERC collection over the next 6 months or so. There will be a couple of changes. We need to find, or we have found and identified some spaces to bring those items up. So there'll be a couple of changes. So overall, the money we feel like is in the right spot. We have our we are working on a vendor contract to identify our architect who will help connect us and sort of guide the landscape architect and subcontractor processes. We will, in earnest, begin those conversations in July. We could see some of our design work finished by as early as September. The new city center will open up the last week of December, which means the demolition will begin in January, and we'll be able to engage those subs to start our construction early next year, and they will do the landscape of the city center's plaza at the same time that they do the courtyard next spring, with everything looking to be complete by June of 2025, so 13 months from now. Any questions on those project updates? As I get illustrations and drawing and options, I'll be sure to share those with this group. We'll have a spot in there where we'll engage the residents through some surveys and all of that, specifically for the courtyard, probably not for Linda's team's working environment. They don't get to weigh in on which chairs we choose, but I think for the park and the courtyard and all that, we'll be able to engage our residents. Great. The only other thing I had on the PERC, we have finalized our contracts with PERC, and so they have signed and we have signed. And now that we have an agreement, we just have the task of taking their, is it 7,000 items, Linda? 9,000?
They have 8,000 items, but we won't be acquiring all of them.
Yeah, we will go through their 8,000 and prepare the 1,000-ish, 500 to 1,000-ish that we will move out onto our floor and add to our catalog, and then take our time. We have over a year to sort of go through that collection, prepare what they need before, and they have that space, and then we'll be adding some items as well. And so we'll see what we hope would be a great expansion of the circulation of the PERC items that will be coming up into the children's wing on the main floor. You'll be able to check out and return PERC items alongside any other item from our collection, and we're just really excited. The PERC organization seems really excited about the opportunity, so looking forward to that. Linda, are we far enough along to have a date of when we anticipate that collection being available through our catalog? Would you say fall?
Probably in the fall.
Late fall, maybe when we have a date.
We're in design
Perfect.
of catalog terms. We're moving the shelving. If you guys are familiar with whether the storytelling wing is, that's going to shift a little bit over. And then the Library of Things PERC items will be visible to the children during story time. So that's the goal.
It represents a pretty incredible challenge for our cataloging team, for our collection maintenance team. These are very new items with very unique classifications and terms and language. We don't currently have guitar strings in our collection maintenance supplies. We have a lot more tape and labels. And so there will be some, hence why some of the things won't come into our collection immediately. It might just not be feasible right now. And so PERC will maintain ownership of all of it. They do a number of things like with the school district where they send out kits to schools, and so as we figure out what we can circulate, that might help them say those might be more appropriate for the school district packets or something like that. And we'll just sort of just get started, and then we'll a year from now, I think we'll have a much better idea of what works and what doesn't work and what we want to expand on or multiply or buy duplicates of or something like that. If there are no questions, that's all I have for my 2 items.
Okay, anything, any questions? Jaime, we'll move on to you.
Okay. We've got a presentation for you. We're going to introduce tonight the summer reading, which is kicking off next week. We're super excited to share this with everybody, with you, with the community, with everybody that's going to get involved. So summer reading has always been a super important part of the library. I know that as a little kid, I came to the library every summer, every week in the summer, continued my reading throughout the summer. And that's the main goal, is to get the community in, encourage children, to encourage families to continue reading over the summer. It's to help avoid the summer slump, where they stop going to school and then they just stop. And the kind of decline in the summer of those reading skills over the summer break. But the summer reading program is not just for kids. We used to say 0 to 99 and above, if we get there. So it's for everybody. It encourages families to kind of read a minimum of 10 hours 10 hours, right? Over June and July. So if you break that down, it's about 10 minutes a day if we break that down. So it's not a huge ask, we don't feel. And it can be any kind of reading. It can be, for little ones, it can be reading to them. And so it can be very much a family activity. So we're excited to introduce, this is our theme for this year. It is Adventure Begins at Your Library. So that's our 2024 theme. Patrons are going to sign up for all kinds of adventures. You have a handout in front of you that has all of our events and activities. We'll go through some highlights here in just a moment on those. Starting on June 1st, we use an app called Beanstack. So orem.beanstack.org. You can go on, you can sign up, and that's a tracking app. So it helps you keep track of where you are in the program and what you're doing. If people aren't app inclined, we also have a form on the back of this that helps them at least track on paper a little bit, and then they can go and enter this on the app at a later date. So this is great if kids want to get involved with marking things off or putting a sticker on or whatever you want to do with that. And so that kind of tracks that progress. And so that they can see where they are qualifying for prizes and our final celebration, which we'll have more details on here in a moment. Historically, we've had approximately 2,700 participants and patrons participate in the summer reading program each year. The majority are between the ages 0 and 11, but it is open to everyone. We are planning things for teenagers and for adults. We got adults involved in particular 3 years ago, I think, and it's been popular, and so we're continuing that and we're building those areas out. So everyone can participate, and we encourage particularly families to get involved and do this together throughout the summer. I'm going to turn the time with how you can get involved over to Nick.
Hi. I am in charge of the summer reading program, so I have the opportunity to plan this, help get all the events going, get the theme, select all the events that go with the theme. And so this year, for our theme, we're doing Adventure Begins at the library, and so we're doing an outdoor adventure kind of angle with that theme. So our kickoff this year is on Saturday, June 1st, and it's an after-hours camp out in the library, so patrons can come with their families. The library is closing a little early that day so that we can set up for it, and then they'll come, they can bring their sleeping bags, their pillows, their blankets, find a corner of the library together as a family, and they can start reading and tracking their minutes. We'll also have community booths at that one, so we have Orem Fire is coming to teach about fire safety when camping. We have, trying to remember some of our other booths. Girl Scouts of America is coming. We have a NASA ambassador coming to teach about stargazing. Just all kinds of fun booths with the community. We'll also have games and activities, and we have s'mores available for our patrons to enjoy. So that's sort of our kickoff celebration to get people excited about the program and get them signed up and ready to start for the rest of the summer. We will also have over 26 summer reading events that you can see more specifically about in the flyer. And these are aimed at all variety of ages. One of our most popular programs is our annual escape room. It's a tradition that we have at the library. And patrons report that it's one of their favorite programs, so we made sure that we were doing that one again this year. And it spans 3 days so that we can serve as many people as possible. We also have recently started a family movie night on the first Monday of the month. So for the summer, we're making it extra special, and we're doing one every Monday during summer reading. And the movies that we're showing were actually selected by patrons about a month ago. They got to vote on which movies they wanted to watch that went with the adventure theme. So we will be having those every Monday. And then we will just have a bunch of other events. We have some teen-specific events. We're doing a teen hike. You can see more about that in here. We have tween ones that are based on some popular adventure tween series. So we have a lot of exciting programs to help people get excited about reading throughout the summer. And to also get people to come to the library. That's part of the goals of the events, is to get people in the door, looking at the books, participating in activities, sort of like what Bryce was saying before, get them to come and have an experience at the library. And then for those who complete the 10 hours of reading, they earn entry into our finale celebration, which is a pool party that we're partnering with the Sierra Pool this year. And so people can come to that, pick up prizes, enjoy the pool, have snow cones. So it's just a big final celebration for them for completing their reading. We also, one of the things that makes summer reading exciting for people are the prizes. In 2023, our patrons reported that prizes are their biggest and most important part of summer reading for them. They want to win prizes. So thanks to the generous support of the city and our sponsors, we're able to give even higher quality prizes this year. And so all of the participants who complete 5 hours of reading will get a goodie bag, so it's kind of their halfway prize. And then those who complete 10 hours of reading will get a free book, a set of coupons, which have been generously donated by Orem businesses. And then they also earn entry into that pool party. So we also will be doing ticket prize drawings. So for all the minutes that they read, they earn tickets that they can enter into ticket prize drawings. This year we're going to have over 300 of those ticket prize drawings that people can enter into. And many of those have been sponsored. So we've had sponsors such as Pioneer Book, Wingers, Timpanogos Hiking Company, Thanksgiving Point, the Quarry, many more. And then we've also purchased some items that kind of go along with the theme. So we'll be giving away a tent, some hiking backpacks. My teen intern told me that we had to have fanny packs for the teens because they love the fanny packs right now. So we bought some of those. And so, and we'll also have books and toys and other prizes. And these prizes are specific to the age group that they're in. So they're based on, kind of, they'll be in a pool of their age that they'll be able to go in for those prizes for. So these are all about encouraging our patrons to participate and help Orem be a more literate community. And then I'll turn it back over to Jaime.
Okay, so at this point, now that you're all hyped up, and you're like, I need to be part of this, we're going to invite you to join with us for the summer reading. So you're invited to our kickoff party on the 1st, so that's Saturday. Come, have a s'more. These are not your grandparents' s'mores. These are going to be awesome. Not that your grandparents are, but they're going to be better. That is just everyone with grandparents.
Something to say about that.
But come see, compare them, see how they fly. But come bring your families. Enjoy the activities, the booths. There's going to be lots and lots to do. It's going to be super, super fun. We're excited for it. And get involved with all of this. You can come to any and all of this. I am hoping they'll let me use a sword at the dueling. But I have a feeling they'll say you don't get to have a sword. But please join. I might be a health and safety risk. Please join with us. We really want everyone to get involved, and we encourage you to do that. The same. And share this with everyone and anyone you know. We'd love all their participation.
We have some extra flyers of this printed over there, so you're welcome to take some with you.
Wallpaper, your neighborhoods. Get the word out.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Great.
Meg and Jaime will be giving this same presentation at next Tuesday's city council meeting.
I'll try not to diss everyone's grandparents.
Yeah. Emily and Meg are gonna have a word with you.
Most of the council members were grandparents.
Fair.
I am so appreciative of the work that has gone into this, and I think that taking some chances, I think there are some things here that are new, and I love that as a staff, you know, Meg especially, but all of our staff are willing to take some chances, and you put up 27, I mean, some of these are going to be difficult to administer, or, you know, July 27th, when we're supposed to be hiking the dragons back, it's gonna be monsoonal, like, it's just gonna happen, and then it'll roll back on August 2nd for the pool party probably, but I think we're doing some really fun things, specifically, I love the Beat the Librarians Trivia Night on June 27th. If y'all want to win, you are, you know what, you're welcome to join our team. If you want to go down, that's fine, bring your own team, and it's on. Then we can settle it on the dueling sword fighting if it goes south. But I think just a lot of fun things. Again, mission and purpose is literacy. It is books. It is the collection. But I think we're looking for ways to engage different people, to engage individuals, to engage families, children and adults, get them here, help them build a relationship with this group of people up here, and then and find that experience with the library. And so Meg and Amy, both of our programming staff, have just knocked this out of the park. A number of part-time staff and interns and committees, collaboration. Meg leads, we have probably 4 or 5 people on your committee of 4 or 5 of our full-time staff to make sure this goes well. Even a number of people in the city, the way we have tried to engage potential sponsors and supporters is now a citywide effort. So we don't have Orem Fest competing against summer reading, competing against summer camps. We're working together to help businesses and individuals that want to support these efforts in the community find the right match for them. If they're passionate about literature or if they are an outdoor company, let's get them in touch with this. If they are something different, then we can go a different route. But just a lot of hands have helped with the lift on this event to bring, again, 3,000 people with Meg and Jaime at the front. But very excited, and a lot of wonderful work has gone into this.
It does look great. Tell me how melty marshmallows work in the library.
So that is, we're having some catered s'mores.
Okay.
And it's going to be in library hall.
How are we doing this?
Yeah. We've actually I've had many people be like, books, marshmallows.
Books,
and
fire.
Campfire
yeah,
stuff.
yeah, fire. So the s'mores are happening in library hall by the kitchen.
Okay.
And
We will
they will be
hand
kept
wipes.
in that building. Yeah. So it is a little separated. So, and that's one of those things we will have, you know, ticket 1 per person, come
Good.
hand your ticket, get your s'more, go eat it in the library hall, and then wash your hands. So,
Wash.
and then go to the books.
This sounds really great, and I'm really excited about it. One thing I just noted, when you get what they vote, number 1, and that big long page that Orem sends out, which I don't pay a lot of attention to, but I just went down this year, and favorite places for kids, for teens to hang out, number 3 was Springville Library.
Yeah.
And I thought, whoa, that's the first time I've ever seen a library make a list, make the list. And so maybe they just, said to their kids, vote or whatever. But I thought, that's the first time. I mean, they had some old weird places I've never heard of, but that one, I thought, the library made the list, so.
We had a chance to go tour Spanish Fork and their brand new library. And if you haven't been down, it's beautiful, it's very functional. And they went all in on teen environs. And so they have rows of booths that are like, not semi-private, but it feels like a group of teens who do want to be semi-private, still with great lines of sight. And they had technology rooms, and we're seeing some of those things, which is why I think we're excited to test them both through programs and some pop-up spaces. And as we understand that, I think we're really excited to see how we can invite them in. Because they don't respond to advertising, they respond to their friends' recommendations. And so we'll do what we can to get the first few in and tell them how cool it, or not tell them how cool it is, stay out of the way. So
That's
that
right.
they think it's cool. And then go from there.
It's a fun challenge ahead of us to take a building that was designed in 1969 and bring in the 2020s. So, and some of those trends, so we're excited about it.
Right now, we have a group of about 30 regular teens who come for most of our activities, so it's really nice to see them.
That's great.
And they bring their friends, and then it gets bigger, and then they bring their friends, and then it gets a little, it's nice. It's expanded over the last couple of years quite a bit. So.
Yeah. They were doing a scavenger hunt the other night in the library, moving en masse. And everybody thought, what's going on? They had a great time though. They had a lot of fun.
Are there any other questions
questions?
or comments about summer reading?
Did this go out to the schools, the elementary schools and the?
The flyer,
Yes.
it hasn't yet, but we're planning to send it to
Okay.
them before.
As far as the
it's
last day of school.
Part of the,
Yeah,
yeah.
I was gonna say.
Part of their, several of them have summer newsletters that they'll email out, so we're gonna get on board with those.
I was just telling this group right before, in recreation, we're using a landing pad, a landing website for a number of summer activities and pool passes and programs, and the summer reading challenge will be a part of that. And so we'll be using sort of some evergreen QR codes and digital and all that, so when they go, it'll lead them to there where they can buy a summer pool pass, do a swim lesson, sign up for the summer reading challenge, or go to this summer camp. And so trying a lot of different avenues, the in-person people here, plus our library, plus the recreation, plus the schools, hopefully to get that.
We're gonna bring this information to a few times at least, to the booths out at the markets
Market.
as well. So we'll have the-
Orem Fest.
Oh, that and then
The
the
Wednesday
farmer's
market,
market.
yeah.
Do the
And-
schools let you go in and talk to them?
We're working on it. It hasn't happened yet, but we're in discussions
I've
with.
seen that happen.
Yeah,
Where
we're-
they just know at the end of school year,
Yeah,
the
we come in and
library's
talk.
gonna come in and, the library's gonna come in and talk.
We've been just talking with a couple people in Alpine School District about making that a regular thing, but it hasn't happened yet, so, but we're working on it.
And schedules all that.
Elementary and middle and high.
And
We love all of them.
And we have relationships with a couple of the school librarians, and they have summer library hours
Yeah.
with their schools.
Right.
So frequently we provide information and we do outreach programs with them over the summer and give this information out, especially with Title I schools. That's one of our primary target audiences with this information.
And ASD sends out those emails, and they just do announcements, stuff like that. So
Yeah.
something like this, I think they could put
Households
in
of
too,
students.
Yeah.
would be appropriate in my mind. Good job, ladies, this is way exciting. This is exciting. Thank you.
We look forward to seeing you all then.
Those snores are calm.
The siren song.
Yeah, right. All right, so we'll move to Mike now on the care tax and the library hall.
Care and Library Hall. So, we have a lot of great community art groups and performers in Orem. And one of the goals and strategies of the Library Hall is to help facilitate, getting that art and those performing groups, to the community. The OPL mission, like we have mentioned in previous meetings, enriching opportunities, strengthening communities. Bryce's comment, our new direction as an experienced library kind of fits into that. And so, you're all familiar with the CARE tax, Community Arts Recreation Tax. Here is where CARE becomes the champion. So, community groups apply and are awarded CARE tax. We're familiar with all that. There were 28 groups, I believe, awarded this year. The community spoke a while back, voted. CARE is moving forward, is basically the hero in this, to provide an opportunity to support these groups. Gives them funding for their operations to grow and to either be part of a group or to present or to have groups available for people to experience and to witness. So where Library Hall comes in is we have been working on ways that we can support these care groups. And so what we've are doing is creating basically a welcome packet where we can take all of the groups who are awarded and reach out to them with information on how to, use how we can support them through our facility, through our calendar and events. The library has, a history, I think, of working with many of these groups, either, as care recipients or before they, the care program. And so a lot of those relationships are established. But basically what we want to do is be proactive and create connections with these, between the care groups and Library Hall as a facility for them to have a place to perform and provide their art, and for the community to come and see that and be a part of that. And so we're working on ways to get them streamlined into our processes for like application, for contracts, for booking, boring type stuff like that, which a lot of groups are not familiar with at first, but we're trying to, ease them in, I guess, and then make it kind of a standardized process across, so they don't experience one thing, one day, or something different, go somewhere else and experience something else. So the care grants also help to offset some of our costs so that we can better help them be part of our calendar and perform at our venue, so that we have the right staff and the technology and everything is ready to go to provide the best possible program. And that is the care at Library Hall.
So you're saying that the care tax helps fund, so they're able to perform use Library Hall at what we would maybe consider a discounted rate compared to like the Covey Center or something?
I mean, we've talked about specific ways to do that, offering up essentially a credit, for a care recipient, they are awarded their grant, but then also we are going to provide them, the equivalent of, say, a day use of the facility to use that. And we coordinate how that works for, because each group is a little bit different, right? You have large choirs, and then you have, single performers or dance groups, for example, that, have different needs. And so this helps to cover our costs in supporting them, and then also provide them, a great experience and an opportunity for their group to perform and provide the community with their art and talents.
If I can jump in maybe on the historic, we were in a tough spot because they were awarded this care group, and then they would come and maybe ask the city to provide it for free, but our library hall did not have the budget, or we were having to take budget away from a reference desk or from our tech services to say we can't do it for free. And then all of a sudden it felt like we were making additional subsidy discretionary decisions above what the care commission had allocated. And we didn't love that, but we want to say yes to these care groups. These are our residents performing for our people. And so by putting in a specific request to offset to the credit of about one show per group, we can reach out to them proactively July 1st and say, when are you coming? We can't wait to get this on the calendar. They get a free or a no financial risk performance. We get to advertise that to our residents as spectators. They're on the calendar really early, and we feel like this puts Mike and the library hall team as yes peoples, problem solvers. It helps us build relationships with 28 art groups here in the city, and we're not having to shuffle around funds on the back end to just sort of make it work. And sound techs have very real costs to them, or the equipment has very real costs, and now everyone is sort of made whole because of the care tax. So really exciting, both from the performer perspective, but also from the, we have 28 shows that now we will be able to go out and, as part of the welcome pack, we'll make this clear, but to say, hey, the city is excited to introduce you to Orem Corral, to the Chantinettes, to Timpanogos, and work on, I think everybody wins.
And show them where our tax is going toward. That's
Very
what we
real,
wanna
very
see.
tangible.
Yeah.
Absolutely, get it on the calendar, get it in our publicity, show, the residents what the care tax does, so they know about that. And then also, that kind of self-promotes, right?
Right.
Then have, maybe they've got a group on the side that they weren't aware of, and then they apply for it next year. And, you just kind of growing that by providing a space and, some outreach with it. Many of our biggest programs are care groups too, biggest programs, most popular programs, are care performances too. So that's a great opportunity. It levels it makes it a little bit more equitable, like Bryce was saying too. It takes a little bit of nuance and the sort of subjective decision-making in providing access to those groups as well. So that's what we like, because we don't want groups to feel like, there's favoritism or, that our staff are put in a position to, make a judgment call or stuff like that, so.
So they get one per year, kind of essentially
Covered.
one access
Sort
per
of,
year
yeah.
for the hall, and if they want more, then they'll understand what the cost is and they can
Sure,
decide.
yes.
Yeah.
Right. We charge tickets at the library hall?
They are allowed to.
You are allowed, okay.
And for the care night, if they choose to charge tickets, which is great, that's awesome.
Uh-huh.
We would set aside a minimum of 50 tickets that are returned to the library that we could distribute for free. So on a sold out night, they would get to sell 475 seats. We would have a raffle, first come, first serve, some process to say 50 residents can get it in for free. And again, a mission-driven purpose to create connection to the arts. And since they don't have to pay, hopefully they are at a much less financially risky situation in taking that on.
Yeah, again, speaking to kind of the diversity of the groups that we have some that absolutely charge tickets and they are well attended, and then we have others that never charge tickets, not having a desire. So providing that option, we are looking at ticketing and box office and stuff like that, so we will have that infrastructure and be able to provide that service to the groups if they choose, as part of the deal.
This is more of maybe a note for our art commission, but also as part of this year's care, we have engaged in a partnership with the Sarah, who will be hosting or presenting a performance here at Library Hall a couple of times a year. And we were able to request some additional care dollars so that we could put that towards the talent contract. So we could bring a pretty elevated concert performance to Library Hall that the Sarah would manage and sell tickets to, but we'd be able to host it here on site. And so we are just beyond excited about the partnership with them as an organization. I think in the past there have maybe been some competition concerns, and really I think this is a win-win. And so we've met with Adam, and there's a lot of details left to be done, but the care tax starts that by having some funds that the city can put towards that. So again, they'll be able to present something here that is co-presented with the library, with the city, and we just look forward to our residents recognizing this as another arts venue that they can come and attend. Specifically once the construction is done. I think we've talked about this, but I think there will be a lot of people that will learn that we have a library hall for the first time once this is a big plaza.
Great, that's very cool. Thank you.
Questions? Cool. More updates to come, yes.
That's exciting. Is it booked out? Is it booked out?
It is.
What
I mean,
percentage?
you've probably seen the graduates walking through it. This is a very busy week for us.
Yeah.
There are a number of considerations. We don't just rent to anybody right now, so there are certain things that we do and don't do as a library hall. It is first and foremost for our internal library programs, and now first and foremost for our care recipients. And there are a couple of things we do beyond that, but I think those first two do book us. I think we had 200 uses last year.
Oh, was it last time? One of the infographic sheet, I believe it had the data on that, like the number of times that it was used, the number of programs we had. Yeah.
And some of them are nice and cozy sized groups, but I think we'll see just a continued activation of the space and the numbers of people that will be able to come here and enjoy a performance.
Over the course of the year, it averaged at least one per day in usage, so.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, the size
Yeah,
differs.
sure.
Right.
Sure.
Great, yeah. Okay, moving on to other.
I just have a comment, not about the new remodeling, but I love the foyer. The new painting and the, I mean, I walked in there and it was always like, there's an announcement and I didn't, well, yeah, whatever. And I walked in there, whoa.
The big numbers on the wall?
Yes,
If
yes.
you remember our annual report, that is the
I know.
the graphic representation and our marketing staff, official marketing communications, Ruth, coming to did a wonderful job with that.
Really did.
Yeah, she did just, very imaginative, very visually beautiful.
Just wakes you up when you walk in. Oh, yeah.
That's great. I will pass that along, just so you're
Pass that
self-conscious
along,
about it.
yeah.
It's a big canvas, it's a big canvas.
Big walk.
Okay, if there's nothing else, we have a motion to adjourn, or Bryce before,
No.
anything you want to
Great.
say?
I make a motion.
Okay, second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, Sharon, our next meeting?
Is July 16th, and just to give you a heads up, our presentation to the city council is in September, so at that July meeting, we will be preparing for that, and the presentation to the city council will take place of the meeting because it happens to fall on the night of our regularly scheduled meeting in September. So,
Katrina, I can get with you before that if you have any questions. You'll be the one to, if you would like to, you'll be the one to present and I'll just be there to support.
Okay.
Great. Okay, thanks y'all.
thank you.